What's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, it's Nestlemania alongside for the ride is a man that is all in on an evolution for a Great American Bash on Saturday night's main event.
40!
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, as he just said, guys, we got 4 different shows to preview coming this weekend. I believe All In is on Saturday, right?
I think so.
I don't know when the Great American Bash. That's Saturday or Sunday, but I know Evolution is Sunday and Saturday main event is obviously Saturday night. So, yeah, isn't All In like during the day or some shit too? Did I see that?
I don't know.
I can't keep track of this stuff, but we're gonna preview all that loaded cards for all 4. We're gonna get to all that in Nestlemania, but wooey, wowie, wowie, yowie.
Yowie, wowie. Listen, we can start in the shine, motherfucker. That's what we do.
Wow.
That's how we do.
Language. Yeah, Nestlemania. I'm going to start out in the shine, and I'm going to start with Monday Night Raw. I'm going to start with the crowd in Providence because they were super hot fire this week. And, I mean, they were just going nuts for everything. But there were 3 pops in particular that I loved. Obviously, the Karrion Kross, which was during commercial break, so I had to go to the interwebs to see it. Lyra got probably the biggest pop I've heard her ever get. We'll get to that. But the other massive, gigantic, gargantuan pop was Mr. Goldberg, Nestlemania. Mr. Bill fucking Goldberg, who was main eventing on Saturday night's main event, fighting for the title. And I'm excited for this match. This is obviously something that we've been talking about for years since Gunther's come on the main roster. But now that it's here in Nestlemania, I would have been excited, I think, regardless. But I think they've done a really good job building this, surprisingly.
Listen, when Bill Goldberg gets a holy shit chant from fucking decking a guy, like, I'm in. I'm totally, and the package that led up to it, like I was just like, this is just great. I mean, obviously we love production. We come from production. We work in television. We get it. Like that's our thing. But like when I saw the Goldberg thing, I was just like, here's the thing about Bill Goldberg. No matter what you say about him being a fucking, Neanderthal or whatever, the dude has an aura. The dude has the it factor. He's had the it factor since 98. It's a thing. But the one thing that I saw on Monday that I thought was just super duper fun, he didn't need to talk, JC. It was just like, there he was in the fucking flesh. And the whole crowd was just like, this is the last time we're going to see Goldberg.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they gave it to him. And I was just, it warms my heart because it's just like, okay, yeah. Can the guy probably not wrestle past 8-minute mark? No, probably not. Are we expecting it to be a fucking classic? No, I want it to be a goddamn slugfest. That's all I want. I want it to be, you guys make fun of me all the time. It ain't ballet, Adam. Well, I know that. But what I will say, this is the match that it should not be ballet, JC.
I don't think you're going to worry about that in this one. In 8 minutes, that seems a little on the high side, unless there's a lot of staring around. But this is, as most Goldberg matches, they're usually finish palooza. And I bet this will be chop palooza as well.
Oh, my God. He's probably miserable just thinking about the chops. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, I also mentioned, you heard the other thing I mentioned, Lyra's big pop. We can get more into Evolution later, obviously, and we'll preview it, but I have a feeling we'll probably talk about it in the heat. But there's one match in particular that really stands out, and it's the best feud going in wrestling right now, and it's this triple threat between Becky, Lyra, and Bayley, and all these segments are just entertaining. It's just, this has been a great feud. This is something that we're excited for. I like the little bit of an edge Bayley has. Lyra has a little bit of edge. She looking like a goddamn snack on Monday as well. Woo-wee! JC was excited for that. And then Becky just being Becky, man. She's just so good in this role because she's fucking annoying. She's a prick. And she's just Becky. And it works. It's playing off these two well. She's a shit stirrer. She's getting these two fired up. And I know a lot of people are going, this match in main event, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck when this match is. To me, this is the match I'm most looking forward to. Whether it kicks off the show, whether it's in the middle of the show, whether it's the second last, doesn't matter to me. Rhea Io makes a lot of sense to me as the main event, especially if Rhea finally gets it over Io. So I have no problem with that. But in terms of the best feud and the best lead-in, and really the only match on Evolution that's had a good lead-in, it's been this feud. And I thought the segment on Monday was a nice little cherry on top of this feud.
I think I agree with all sentiments there. Like you said, I just love that Bayley finally has an edge. That's what I was really, really excited about. I don't know. It felt like it was kind of just one of those things where I was just like, I'm waiting for it. Finally, she's kind of a bitch. Like, okay, well, they're all 3 bitches at this point. Like, that's what I kind of want. I want this to be a knockout, drag-out fight. And a triple threat rules, you can do whatever you want. So that's going to be fun, too. I think there's going to be a lot of chicanery going on as well. But, I mean, I'm just excited to see what happens. I have very low expectations. We'll talk about it more in the heat, but I have very low expectations for this evolution as opposed to the first one. But that's my 2 cents. We'll talk about it later. But again, Providence, super hot fire, as we say, but it is also a great wrestling town. So I think, hats off to Providence for making that feel like a big deal. So good on you guys.
Yeah, they were great. My last note on Raw, something I really enjoyed is, you know what, Nestlemania? Come on this show every week. And I try not to sound like a broken record. I always try, if I have a complaint and it's a consistent complaint, I always try to make it unique to that week and try to push it forward so we're not rehashing the same thing. But sometimes they listen, and sometimes they do exactly what you're asking them to do. And when they do that, Nestlemania, I will put it in the shine. Because look it, when we're kicking off a Raw and I hear Seth Rollins music, I'm already fucking groaning. Because week in and week out, it's the same bullshit. Not this week. I think they heard it because I'm sure we're not the only ones talking fucking dumbass heads here. I'm sure we're all saying the same shit. Other people who do podcasts or radio shows or just on Twitter, the same shit about this. And they listened because they found a new, unique way to do this. And Seth probably said 5 words in there, and it was a lot more effective. Started off with Braun taking the mic from him and a nice little ranty Braun promo. Who doesn't love a Steiner rant? I love a Steiner rant. Great thing to do. Then big old Bronson Reed had some words. He doesn't say much, but you know what? The man tsunami, so I listened. And then we got a little bit of Heyman, but it was just like, this is more of what I've been looking for. They found a unique way to do this. They finally made this group a segment with them, just kicking off the show, feel a little different. And then there was a thread throughout the night where they were just taking out those 3 guys that were a pain in the ass for them. First, it was Braun taking out Sammy. He fucking mutilated him. I believe Bronson match was a DQ, but he fucking killed him. Then the end of the night, Seth and Penta had a fucking banger, but he took care of him. And then obviously you have Mr. Yes Man coming out and doing his thing. But, we have to put it in the shine, Nestlemania, when they listen to us. And this week, they listen to us.
I was so, our boy Danny Grimwood, make sure you follow Danny Fab on all social media because he's a Seth Rollins honk. But that's okay. We still love him anyway.
He had the same complaint about it we did, though.
He did. I will say this much. He is an equal opportunity complainer like us. So I was very excited. I laughed really hard when I was like, holy shit, Heyman cutting that promo in Spanish was pretty fucking cool because you didn't expect him to do that. But yeah, don't tell me what to do. Okay, Adam, relax. It is what it is. Anyway, it threw me off. No, look, I just thought this was a great overall night. You know what? I really don't like when I watch WWE programming and we don't know the main event. And so like the kickoff to the show is like the implication of what's going on in the main event. I liked this past Monday because it was like they already had the matches set. Then they had their purpose and what they needed to do. And then they checked in mid-show and be like, did you hear about Sami Zayn? Out indefinitely. Like that was good stuff throughout the night. So like more of that. More of the like, show me what the main event is, show me intent at the beginning, and I'll be hooked the whole way through. Because then I found a lot of it to be enjoyable. There are portions of it I didn't, obviously, that we can get into, but I think that was very enjoyable.
Yeah, no, they did a good job with it this week. And this is the first time I think we put this Seth group in the shine in probably months. So they might have finally, hopefully they can continue to push this forward. But that's something I'm going to jump over to SmackDown because you know how I feel. When Randy and Cody are in a ring together, what does JC do? JC smiles because JC loves these 2 men. They're my 2 goats. Yeah, a lot of that. It's more what's that GIF that Doc always sends with the fucking Transformer? Yeah, that going there. But, obviously Randy interrupted him. And I love the note on this because they're just continuing to lay the groundwork. He said, I respect what you did, but I won't soon forget it. And it's one of those things. And it's like, okay. So they're laying it. But then obviously they bring out a shit stirrer like Drew, who much like Becky is very good in this role and just shit stirs and continues to help lay the foundation that, at some point Randy's going to snap and it's probably going to be on Cody and it's going to be fucking magical. And that's where we're headed. But obviously he ate an RKO first thing because you know what? If Randy Orton's out there in a ring and there's other people in the ring with him, someone better eat an RKO. So we got that. But it was a nice little way to kind of like put a bow on this little thing for now and then move both Cody and Randy forward in their next direction.
I do sit there and think very much that as much as people keep saying, I want Cody to be a heel, I'm like, why?
Yeah, no, why?
Why? I don't understand. Like,
not anytime soon.
Because
like maybe in a couple years when they have other guys, but like right now, it's like, no, you won't. You don't want that.
I think we're getting into a weird spot, and we'll talk about it more in the heat, I'm sure. We're getting in this weird spot where it's like, how do heels become heels? I feel like that's the one lost art I'm looking at going across the board, no matter what show I'm watching, rather. I'm not on any shows except this one. But you know what I mean? Like, we'll get into it further, but like, I feel like there's this hint of the crowd doesn't respond to the normal nuances to heels and baby faces lately. So it's just interesting to me. That's all.
Yeah, it's a new era, which is why I think they kind of are fine with doing like these tweeners and a lot of babyface matches, and why there's just a lack of like true heels in WWE Nestlemania. But if I were to ask you who the best heel in WWE right now is, who would you say?
Oh, wow. Well, I personally think Drew McIntyre is one of the best heels we have.
He also kind of goes back and forth though. True heel, who is someone who just can, well, I mean, a little bit now, but for the past like year and a half, who has been consistent? Like up there with Dom, who obviously now is like in a different thing, but who's the other guy? He's on SmackDown.
Just say it.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Solo. Okay. Just consistent. Guy who goes out there not trying to get cheered, just get booed. Obviously, he has some of that nice comedy too, but the dude just wants to get booed, and there's not many of them, and that's why he's in the position that he's been in, is because he's one of those true heels, and in a company right now that doesn't have a lot of heels. But look it, I love when they do his little mafia promos here, and the one that I had is we were curious. We talked about it last week. Like, what are they going to call themselves? He's calling them his family. He's not calling them a bloodline. So I like that note because he kind of lost that ability when he lost to Roman and the Ulafala. So I like that he's saying like it's a true family now with JC and the Tongas. There's 3 of them now, allegedly, assuming Tama comes back into the fold. But yeah, no, obviously Jacob and Jimmy are good friends. Not I mean, and we had the tag team main event. We're probably headed to, I'm sure something involving all these guys will be added to Saturday Night Main Event, whether it's a rematch for the U.S. title or some fucking combination of all this shit. But like, it's one of those things where I'm enjoying this still. I'm sure it'll get repetitive like a lot of these things do. But right now it's just like Jacob is just so fun to watch, and Solo's just like the perfect guy to kind of like vault him and kind of do his own thing. And I like that, like Solo's presentation, it's better with numbers, and they have the numbers again. So on a show that doesn't always have a lot to offer, I'm at least entertained by these segments.
So I do want to back up just a second because you said something that I wanted to hit upon.
Yeah.
In that promo where he said, "My family is now complete," he didn't have Tama Tonga in there, which I'm curious what your thoughts are on it, because my feeling is it could be a misdirect. However, you kind of need to, even the playing field here. You might have Jacob and then Jimmy and Jay, but I don't think they're going to have Roman come back to do that shit again. So it's like, I'm just wondering, is Tama Tonga going to be part of the MFT, or is he going to be part on the other side for Jacob? It's just interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't know what his injury status, how long that injury is for. But it's one of those things, like I think Solo just said that for now. Like Tama could obviously always show up in the future, but it was one of those things when they were starting to do the split. Like at first it seemed like Tama was kind of siding with Jacob, but then it seemed pretty definitively he was more on Solo's side before he got injured. So I think it's just one of those things. He's probably still out for a while, so it's one of those like out of sight, out of mind, and then when he comes back, they can figure it out. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how they push this storyline forward, because I think the purpose of this is to vault Jacob out of this at some point, as opposed to going backwards into it. But who knows? As we've seen with WWE, especially around these months, I feel like the rematch probably happens at SummerSlam, so we have to at least till then. But I feel like the purpose of this is to kind of vault Jacob out of here. And I think Jimmy's just kind of in this no man's land, just like he's just kind of doing this stuff until Jay's ready to be his tag team partner again, unfortunately. Because I don't know, I think at some point maybe they flirted with maybe Jimmy could be a mid-card champion or whatever, but I think that has passed. So I think he's just kind of in this like territory, and unfortunately he can't get away from baby bro.
The Joe Stopper says we still have Zilla Fatu in the pipeline. I don't think he's ready yet, but
is he signed too?
No, I don't think so. He's still on the Indies, I think.
They got 1,000 of them. There's fucking so many.
They could start their own organization, for crying out loud.
Yeah, they could. Maybe we'll have an All Samoan pay-per-view down the line.
Now that would be something. Imagine. Listen to this. Imagine like instead of like Evolution's all women, you have like the Samoan pay-per-view on a fucking island. Like that would be fucking cool as shit. Like Hawaii,
Samoan Island. It'd be like Love Island, but it'd be Samoans fighting each other.
Yeah, and like there's fucking barbecues and pigs and shit, and like people wearing leis. Oh fuck yeah, I'm in. Give me that. Give me a fucking all Samoan pay-per-view. Everybody got to go barefoot. That's the name of the fucking barefoot Samoans. That's what I want.
Oh, man.
Love it. Can't get enough of my Samoans. Something else that I thought was really fun that we didn't get to talk about yet, but I really just, I don't know why, but I'm really enjoying the AJ Styles Dom stuff. Like it's a nothing thing, but AJ Styles being like, I'm watching you, like as a fucking creeper, like, and getting the cake, like get well soon. And just all that stuff is just a great way to keep it moving forward, even though it's not moving forward. I fucking love that. Like it'd be so much fun to continue this. So it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I think this is probably penciled in for SummerSlam at this point. With Dom still being nicked up, I don't think there's any reason to rush it on a Raw or Clash in the wherever the fuck it is this year. When I think that's at the end of the month, or I don't even know.
It's early August. I know. Yeah, it's near my birthday. So
yeah. So I don't think that one's worth rushing. I would just save for SummerSlam. So doing little stuff like this every week is perfect because we know Dom's going to be on TV no matter what. But having AJ kind of do this, I think, is a good way to do it, and I think it'll just enhance this match, which was supposed to happen a month ago and didn't, but it's just like they're making the best out of it, and I think they're making some lemonade.
God, I want lemonade now. Anything else that was super positive? We want to get
my last piece of shine was the tag team match banner on SmackDown. Andrade and Phoenix, who are super fun together, taking on Fraxium. I mean, if you like flippy dippy perfection, this was some flippy dippy perfection. It was very entertaining.
I'm just gonna go out and do this. They did AEW better than AEW.
Yeah, 100%. Because you know why? Andrade is the smoothest wrestler. Phoenix was one of their smoothest wrestlers who left, and Fraxium's the fucking best tag team on the planet right now. So check, and a lot of fun.
Check, please. Yeah. I'm telling you, look, I really enjoyed it, and it's weird to me, right? Because you figure you're waiting with anticipation, bated breath, that you're waiting for the Lucha Bros to be a thing, but then you're like, Andrade and Phoenix was not a team I wanted, but I love it. I fucking love it.
I'm enjoying it.
You know what I mean? Like, It just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're like, maybe we won't be getting that because Penta's doing fine on his own, so it's fine. I don't know. Just something to think about. Would you like to get heaty?
Yeah.
Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Now, I would just want to say something real quick here. Everybody knows me as a guy who doesn't love multi-person matches. Specifically, anything 6-man or 6-woman or 8-man or 8-woman tags. On SmackDown, we had this cockamamie piece of garbage that was the
this was an AEW match.
This match had fucking dog shit written all over it. And here's JC. Let me just tee this up real quick, and then I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, and I'm gonna need you to tell me when to stop, okay? Like he's already dead, kind of stuff. So you have the fucking backstage segment with Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, and the rest of the fucking tag teams, and Fraxium's like, I can deal with them, so they leave. Then that's the rest of them. They pick one member of each tag team to deal with the Wyatts, because the Wyatts, here we go, folks, the Wyatts are still a threat to the what division, JC?
Tag division.
Tag division. I'm ignoring Danny.
Sorry, I'm laughing at it.
I know. I'm ignoring Danny because Danny's a piece of shit. So the Wyatts are a threat to the tag division, JC, right? Mm-hmm. They go and have an 8-man tag match that has nothing to do with the tag division. And they win. So they're still a threat to what division, JC?
Tag division.
Tag division, right. And JC, let me ask you this. At the end of that promo, they said if the Wyatts win, then they would be in line for another shot at what tag team? What division?
Tag team, player.
Tag team division. JC, do you remember who won the matchup for the Wyatts?
It wasn't someone who's part of the tag team.
That's right. It was Eric Rowan. What the fuck are we watching? What the fuck is that logic? There is no fucking logic. Why? Shouldn't the tag team win the fucking match so that they can get the number 1 contendership for the tag team titles that they're supposed to get against the other 4 tag teams? what the fuck am I watching? It makes no goddamn sense. Take the shovel, bury him 10 feet deep. This fucking faction is OVA. Over. And not over in the good way. Like Dunzo.
No, because you would have said ER if it was. No, I completely agree. This
stupid.
A division that is fucking loaded with tag teams. And they just had another super fun one in Phoenix and Andrade. And you had all those other teams that were involved in this. And you have Fraxium. And just like, you have fucking even like Pretty Deadly, who's not healthy right now. But it's just like, you actually have a tag division. You actually have a tag division. And ever since they inserted the Wyatts into this, it's been the drizzling shits. Because the Wyatts just, like, they're a fun act. But it's just like, they're on the wrong show. They should be on Raw. They should be terrorizing the New Day. They should be terrorizing fucking Alpha Academy or American Made. Like, just like they should be over there. They should be terrorizing Judgment Day. But instead, they're fucking terrorizing all the good wrestling tag teams that we just want to see tag team wrestle. Like, they had a good formula during 3-hour shows. Just let these teams wrestle. It was one of the better parts of the 3-hour SmackDowns. Ever since with the Wyatts, now it's the fucking worst part of the show. And it's just like, they're on the wrong show. They're being booked wrong. They don't need titles. It's like, what are we doing? You want to have them win titles? Have them fucking beat the New Day then instead of Judgment Day on Raw. Like, that would have made more sense. But sticking them in this division, it just ruins a division, which is like actually has tag teams and actually has tag team wrestling and actually has been super fun since WrestleMania.
Something else that bothered me was I was watching SmackDown and it was like, well, because Io got to pick her opponent. Tiffy's gonna pick her fucking opponent, and then she fucking glad hands out fucking yo, it's time to rock and roll. And I'm like, all right, Trish Stratus. Did we not remember the last time we saw Trish Stratus? Like, what the fuck?
Tag team match with Tiffy in her hometown.
Like, okay, that was fine. Before that was the Zoe Stark fucking trash can in the face shit. Like, that's the last. Like, in my head, I don't think this match will be able to live up to any expectation. And like, here's the thing. The Io and Rhea thing was bad enough. Like, I get to handpick you. There's not much. They did a good job trying to figure out how
There's
to.
There's at least nice history there, and we know they're both really good wrestlers.
Right. So at the end of the day, they tripped ass backwards into it. It's fine. This one is just like Tiffy, who, as I'm watching her continue to talk, I feel like she's getting worse in the promo department or lazy
so bad.
Against somebody like Trish Stratus, who in the ring could potentially be a fucking whoopsie pie. And then you are sitting there and it's Jade. Now, I get you have to have Jade come out and strut her stuff. By the way, big bonus points for Jade for looking like a fucking queen anyway. Like, actually in taking the Queen of the Ring moniker and doing something with it. So super A+ for Jade. She's not heat. The other shit is. I'm just like, we got two people who can't fucking talk. They can sort of kind of wrestle. They're kind of not baby faces, but they are baby faces. But it's Trish Stratus, so she's a legend, and that's okay. And then there's Tiffy, who's supposed to be a baby face, but she's kind of a bitch, and she doesn't know how to communicate with the crowd, and neither does Trish. And I'm just looking at this going, what the fuck am I watching? There are people. This is a $1 billion company, and you can't figure out some way to fucking make this work. And then on top of that, it's a week away from a fucking pay-per-view, a PLE, excuse me, that is going to be something that people should be watching. Ticket sales are plummeting, and then there's nothing here at all that is going to get anybody excited to watch this thing, and the women are killing it. The women are doing such a fantastic job, and they're a complete afterthought because they're a buy one, get one free fucking ticket instead of being the fucking main course of the whole goddamn weekend. I don't understand how, like, I know it's not a conspiracy theory, but it certainly feels like there could be a grassy knoll here where it's like they're kind of fucking putting this out the pasture to never do it again.
No, I think it's more of just like they bit off way more than they can chew with all this. And it's just like they're not, because they go back, like the Tiffy Trish stuff is just like, it's an encapsulation of why this whole thing has been a disaster. Because besides that triple threat match, everything is just rushed and thrown together. And it's one of those, like, honestly, doing the buy one, like the combo is the smartest thing to do, because I don't even want to know how bad ticket sales would be if they didn't have the fucking Goldberg combo ticket. Like, it'd probably be even way worse if this was just a standalone. So I think doing that is smart. But I think part of the issue here is that, like, you're doing it on one of AEW's biggest weekend. You also have an NXT's weekend. It's just like there's a lot of wrestling in this weekend, and it's one of those, like, I mean, Evolution, like, part of the draw of it was like you get to showcase all your women. But if I'm buying these tickets and I'm looking at it and there's nothing booked a couple weeks out, it's like, what the fuck? And also, I think the biggest miss for this pay-per-view and why this thing is a thing, Two of the hottest reasons why this woman division has been on fire. You rushed to call them up were Stephanie Vaquer and Julia. You literally rushed to call them up because you wanted them on the main roster. And you literally are hot-shotting them. Julia already has a title. Fucking Vaquer was like fucking in big matches her first couple weeks before she was even called up. And she like does double duty on your last one where you had the double shows. And then we get closer to this all-woman show. And yes, Julia is holding a title, not fucking booked on Evolution. Stephanie Vaquer hasn't been on fucking TV besides a video package this week for fucking 3 weeks since that Nikki Bella segment. What the fuck are we doing? Like, yes, the Nikki Liv thing blew up. That probably would have been a bigger showcase, but you have this tag team fatal forward, which is arguably the second best book thing on this show, which isn't saying much. But now you're sticking Stephanie in a battle royal. You don't have Julia there. It's like you had the formula. You have the depth in this division. Rhea Io, big time main event. Good job. Becky, Lyra, Bayley, great job with the IC title, but it's just like, what are we doing with everything else? It's an absolute fucking mess, but it's just like the biggest missed opportunity was not capitalizing on your two fucking new stars who the crowd fucking is in love with, especially with Stephanie. And it's just like, oh yeah, no, we're going to have a wrestle on fucking main event in Providence. What the fuck are you doing? This is your biggest woman show of the year, and you have your biggest new star, and you decide week off, oh yeah, we're going to shove her in the battle royal. She's not even on the fucking shows leading up. Like, it's asinine how badly this has been booked. I think they bit off more than they can chew with all this stuff going on because they're still trying to book a Saturday night main event. You have the weekly shows trying to keep up with, and you're throwing this on, and you're coming off like I just feel like we just had those other pay-per-views a couple weeks ago. I just think they're like this loaded for summer, which is usually kind of like the dog days. I think they've just overstuffed with like bigger shows. And I think Triple H and his team are having trouble keeping it compelling for everyone and building to all these things. Because look, it's hard. It's hard to come up with fucking 15 storylines or whatever it ends up being at the same time. Because you pretty much need to do like, you need to double your women's storylines going into this pay-per-view, but you're still trying to do all the regular men's storyline for these other things. So it's just like, I think they just bit off more than they can chew. It's a mess. And I think they missed a lot of opportunities here. And it's feeling rushed. And the ticket sales are going to reflect that because if you're looking to buy a ticket to this thing, you kind of want to have an idea of what's going on. And then someone who'd be like a new fan be like, oh, I'm going to a women's show. I can't wait to see Stephanie Vaquer. And you're looking out. It's like, why is she not on TV? It's just miss after miss after miss. I think another big thing they can't really control is there's no Bianca for this. She's one of your actual big time draws in the women's division up there with Rhea and Becky, someone that people literally just buy tickets to see. It's especially true of like the young girls. Like not having her at this show, it sucks that she's injured because it's just like she's one of those, like you said, a draw. And then Trish Stratus, someone who maybe you could bring people in with. You announced the week before and you have that shitty of a segment. It's like, that could have been done a while ago, but I think it's a mess and they've bitten off way more than they can chew and they haven't done a good job handling it. And here we are, what are we, 4 or 5 days out? And yeah, like you said, shit show. No better way to describe it. I'll put my sunglasses back on.
See what happens when you get us angry?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Daniel. For fuck's sake.
I mean, she would help. Honestly, she might be in the battle royal.
Here's the thing. Honestly, I think she probably will.
Kelly, for those of you who are listening.
Here's the thing. I laughed legitimately out loud, which I don't normally do, when I saw someone say, oh, Michelle McCool's like, my phone hasn't been ringing. I'm not going to be at Evolution. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Just shut the fuck up.
She should just be happy that she's on LFG because I will tell you this. She fucking sucks compared to Mickey James. Because
she never did anything.
No, she just has no personality. It's not anything to do with that. It's just like she's not interesting. What makes that show so fun is obviously it's cool to see the young talent, but Booker T is fucking Booker T. He's larger than life. Bully Ray, he's a fucking asshole, but it fucking works when he's coaching kids and when he's arguing with Booker. And Undertaker's the fucking Undertaker, and he's just like this chill dude, but like you respect him. But at the same time, him going back and forth with Booker and Bully is great. And like Mickey worked in well because Mickey had a good personality. She was funny with Booker. She was funny with Undertaker. She's funny. Michelle McCool comes in and it's just like, I feel like Bully and Booker don't want to go too hard on them because they don't want to fucking eat a real life tombstone from the Undertaker if they fucking start arguing with their wife. And it's just like, she's just not that interesting. And so there's my Michelle McCool rant, but slowly fucking tearing down LFG, which is still a great show. And I still enjoy it, but not the same.
Also, something that I would love to see, this is a bonus hope for Evolution. I'd love to see Eve Torres back.
Oh, interesting. Is she in shape? Is she wrestling? Or is it just?
I don't know. She was one of my faves. She was one of my faves.
I love Eve Torres too, but is that just a shot in the dark?
Oh yeah, I don't have any.
Maybe you saw like she was posting like, oh, she's in shape.
No. I mean, I think the place would erupt for AJ Lee, but I don't think they're gonna blow their load on that. So, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because obviously the battle royal, like it's one of those things. But I mean, we'll talk about it in predictions. It's obviously headlined by Nikki and Stephanie. And the winner, it doesn't have stakes. The winner actually goes to Paris and will challenge somebody. But yeah, it's I don't know. They really missed the boat on this. I mean, they already have 7 matches booked, but it's like you got to think they're gonna put Julia on this card, like Julia Zelina rematch or something, because it's just like, if not, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
So something that you might think is definitely nitpicky Nestle as I'm moving on to another subject. I'm curious. I'm sure you can massage this the way that you normally do, Mr. Spin Cycle JC. But I am curious about this. Like, so we have Sami Zayn dealing with the Braun Breaker issue, right? But before that, he comes out and he gets fucking hit with a lead pipe from Clue. And Karrion Kross, this is a sympathetic babyface just getting fucking pummeled with a pipe. And the crowd doesn't boo Karrion Kross. They're cheering the fuck out of him because they want him on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't give a shit about Sami. And then Sami got eaten alive. And I just felt like, and I know you were talking about they do more tweener shit and whatever, but I'm just at a point now where I'm watching this and being like, why are we booking Karrion Kross this way? The crowd is cheering for him. Like, why can't we just all agree this guy is over? He's getting over. He should be a baby face. He should be doing not like kissing babies and whatever. Did you see that fucking video where they wouldn't let him leave on Monday in the parking lot?
Yeah, it was great.
He's fucking high-fiving kids and shit. And it's like, there you go. There's your guy. Just give a fucking flyer on the poor bastard and see if he's a babyface, for crying out loud. I've never seen him be a babyface, like an effective babyface. Let's see it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far because I think part of the charm is like you fall in love with the way he is now. You can definitely like tweener him, but I just one of those like I think a lot of the times when you take these guys who are just like always heels, it's just like kind of like the Miz in a way. Like he can do it, but it's not the same. And like Randy Orton's kind of like gone the other way where it's just like he's just so perpetually over. There's no stopping it. But I mean, Sammy's always going to be over no matter what. So you can do that with a guy like him because they're going to cheer him getting beat up. But like the night, if he comes out later, they're going to go nuts for him. But poor Sammy right now, it's like you got Braun who wants to kill him and you got Kross who wants to kill him, like you said. So it's a very interesting dilemma they have here with Kross. And obviously I am pro just like put this shit on TV. Like that segment with Jackie, which I don't get to see because I don't fucking pay for ad-free Netflix because fuck that. So I see it on Twitter, which I actually think I saw on TikTok first, which is fine. But it's just like, how have you not given this guy a fucking mic in the middle of the ring yet? Like in the show. Like it's that's why I've said all along, this one reminds me so much of Rusev Day because it is so over. And they'll like tease you a little bit with it and they're clearly aware of it. But they won't go all in with it. They won't just like buy in like they did with Kofi and these other ones. And it's just like with Kross, it's one of those things like no one's asking for him to be a world champion. We're literally just asking him to be on our televisions because he's fucking interesting right now. He cut a fucking life-changing promo leading into Money in the Bank trying to get in that match. And he has a fucking smoking hot wife that everyone likes to see on TV. Like finally, like this dream that Triple H had for Karrion Kross when he signed him and was putting him through NXT and he was your NXT champion. Like the fruits of that are blooming and you're not fucking taking advantage of it. And like, yes, there might be a contract thing with like rumors, like whatever bullshit. Like I would assume at this point, if it's up in August, they fucking are locking it up and maybe they use it as a storyline like they did with Truth in a way or whatever. Who knows? That stuff, like we're never going to hear about that stuff. And that actually comes out of the horse's mouth, which is very rare. We usually don't. It's all speculation, but it's one of those things. It's just like, just fucking dive in. Just dive into it and see where it takes you. Who knows? Maybe it fizzles out in a few months. Whatever. But for those few months, I guarantee you it's going to be worth the ride. But there's only like so much you can do before it just like it eventually will just, you got to strike when that iron's hot. And the iron has been hot and it's still hot. It's time. And so stop making us wait. It seems like we're coming towards that. I mean, he was on a pay-per-view match only because other stuff fell through. I believe it replaced the Dom AJ match. But I wouldn't go so far to say I need him to be a Milky Way babyface, but it's one of those things like you can present him where like he can still be himself, but like it's fine with him interacting with the crowd in a certain way because pretty much they all do it now. Like 90% of heels are fucking tweeners anyways.
So I'm not, and I want to reiterate this before I say it. I'm not drawing comparisons to this person. I'm drawing comparisons on how to make this a very effective babyface, right? Don't change him at all. Just have him change who his opponents and his targets are. That is it. You can do the same thing like they did with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The dude didn't fucking change a goddamn thing. He just started beating up different people. That's all you do with somebody like a character like this. He is not Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is not a world champion material right now. Maybe never. That's okay. But he deserves to be on television. Give the guy a shot. Just give him a shot. That's all we're asking.
We want Cross. Crowd was chanting it.
Okay. Anything else? Do you have something heaty or would you like to move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay. Glorious. You're my only hope. Would you like to go first? I have two.
Sure. I will go first. It's involving some of the women's stuff this weekend because there is a little bit of a double dip going here for a couple of them. Obviously, Jordan Grace and JC Jane are in a tag match, whatever, but I'm not talking about that. My Hope Nestlemania involves, it's kind of simple. North American title, Izzy Dame is challenging against Sol Ruca. I think Izzy Dame is somebody who has really broke out to me this year in NXT. I think putting her in the Spears faction has really elevated her and given her a platform. The only other time we really saw her, like, she was kind of like the sidekick for Kiana James when she was down there. Then she was kind of floating around, and we knew she was dating Braun, and it was just kind of like, I have no idea if this girl's good or not. I was just like kind of a nothing to her, but she's really evolved with the Shawn Spears faction. It's allowed her to buy in, and she's kind of become the centerpiece of that faction. And she's got a thing going on with Tatum. So I think you put the title on her. I think it makes sense. I think with factions, it always looks good to have title. I don't think Sol Ruca needs it right now. Especially because it's just like whatever. But I think Izzy Dame can do a lot with this title. I think it works. So I'd pull the trigger on her on Saturday. Then we get to Sunday Nestlemania, and we're looking at this Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag match. And I'm thinking, obviously, Charlotte and Alexa, obvious, you just put them together. WWE likes doing that. The 2 stars, stick it on them. Kabuki Warriors, just reunited. Easily throw it on them. Arguably one of the top 1 or 2 probably women's tag team champions of all times. They're fantastic. Or you could just keep it on Roxanne and Raquel because it makes sense. But you know what, Nestlemania? I'm feeling a little dangerous, and I like surprises. So you know what? I took 1 title away from Sol Ruca. She has 2 right now, by the way. She's still a speed champion. Longest reigning speed champion ever, probably. But you know what? 2 belts, Ruca, bring it back. I want Sol Ruca to shockingly win the women's tag team titles. Why the fuck not? I think they're fun. Eventually, there's going to be a turn there, but it's just like you have these women's tag team titles. They're mainly props on the main roster. They don't have to hold them long, but it's just like, why not give us a shocker? Especially because the other 3 teams are so obvious to win. These ones just feel like they're in there just to represent NXT. The NXT way is to fucking shock us with surprise title wins. So do it at Evolution. Give me a little bit more of a reason to remember this pay-per-view. Let Sol Ruca win the tag team titles. So there's my 2-part hope. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC's hopes come true.
I like it. I do.
Yeah, why not? Everyone likes title changes, right? Come on.
Well, she definitely likes to bark. That's for sure.
Arr, arr, arr.
Arr, arr. So I'm gonna put both of my hopes into one because it is tag team things. On Friday, I thought to myself, I was dying. I was fucking dying, JC, when I was watching this fucking backstage segment with Damian Priest and Aleister Black. Just the way it ended with Priest, Black. They just fucking walk away from each other. And I sat there and I went,
2 brooding males.
I went, holy shit. They would be a fucking bomb tag team. Like, they are both fucking karate, fucking MMA guys. They're both fucking dark. Like, when big, brooding fucking assholes. You know what I mean? Like, I was just looking at, like, the presentation would look fucking dope, in my opinion, as a tag team. And I'm like, they're not really doing anything with Priest. They kind of love Aleister Black. It's like, let's just fucking ride that together. Make them a tag team. That would be fucking dope, in my opinion. That's not my big hope. Here's my big hope that I was sitting there going on Monday thinking, holy shit, this would be fucking out fucking standing in my head. So as I was watching, of course, we talked about how great El Grande Americano's outing was against Dragon Lee with the posing and whatnot. But as I was sitting there, I was like, oh man, just imagine that instead of one El Grande, we get two El Grandes, and they're a tag team, and they fucking win the tag titles. And then there's a whole fucking thing against the Creeds. Imagine if we get El Grandes and the Creeds to finally become something, and then they get the Creeds to become the big bad guys they probably should be and win the tag titles. I think that would be fucking dope to get two Americanos as tag teams. The comedy, the fucking lucha stuff. It would be fucking awesome. And you have another built-in tag team. We know Gable can be fucking awesome in tag teams. You get Ludwig back on television more often. It just fucking works. I'm here. Let's get the Creeds over by working with the El Grandes. That's what I want. Those are my hopes.
My guess is they'll probably keep them as heels and they'll just feud with every fucking tag team in the LWO.
No, I know, but like, come on. I need it.
It makes sense because they will perpetually become baby faces, Nestlemania. But that leads me into my comeback because my comeback is El Grande Americano. He grew about, I don't know, like a foot. He got a lot more handsome and he's a lot more Ludwiggy and he's probably fucking Tiffany. So, out there in the Gulf of America. So, but yeah, no, this is just great. And I love the promo they had with the Creeds where Brutus is like, El Grande's not here. He can't because Chad's not here. And they're like, shut up. Because it's just like the obvious thing, but they've obviously been doing the thing where Ludwig's been behind them in promos for a few weeks. But yeah, this is super fun. Like you said, he gets the win over Dragon Lee. Obviously we know Gable is out. I mean, this whole like thing with El Grande has just been cursed because it was supposed to be him versus Mysterio at WrestleMania. Mysterio gets hurt, so they throw in Phoenix and do that. And then now it's just like they have all these plans with Chad, and now Chad's hurt. So it's just like, you know what you do? You make more lemonade here. And that's why you just on the fly. It's like, boom, Ludwig's a stud. We're not doing anything with him right now. People want him on TV. He's a damn good wrestler. He could definitely wrestle a little lucha style. So they fucking have it. But it's just like the aesthetics when he walked out. I fucking died because he's so much taller. And he's just like looking like Ludwig. But when he started doing like the Chad Gable stuff, I was dying. Yeah, just because it was a very like
he was different. He was like posing up with his fucking hands, the Superman pose, like every single time. It was like anytime he had a moment, he did the fucking stance like Superman. It was ridiculous.
It's so good. This is going to be a lot of fun once all the pieces come back together. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things like it's just working and they're finding a way to keep it going. But the Brutus thing just killed me because like if they ever fully unleash the Creed, just like Brutus is like, he's not, obviously we know Julius is the fucking stud. But Brutus just brings that like comedy that you can't teach because he's just naturally an oaf and just like, oh, Grande can't be here because Chad's not here. Just like the stupid facials. It just works. So yeah, this was magic all night.
My comeback is one. Whoosh, Drew McIntyre. He was bored at work, came back, had a scorching promo, giving shit to Randy Orton, saying he hesitated and he's a bitch. And of course, he's facing Randy Orton on Saturday night's main event. I just love Drew McIntyre. I think I thought he'd be gone longer, so I was surprised that he showed up. They need a little bit of star power. He's right there. So I'm very excited about the one and only Drew McIntyre there. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's good to have him back. And we will get to Saturday night main event in the Big Finish WrestleMania as we head there now. But we will start with two matches on SmackDown. The aforementioned Aleister Black takes on R-Truth. And then we have the tag team title match, which you are very excited for, the Street Profits and the Wyatt Six. Do they pull the trigger on the Wyatts on SmackDown?
Oh, God, I hope not.
I think they might.
You think so?
Yeah, because they already had them lose once. They got them lose again. Like, who knows? Maybe all the tag teams attack again. But just like, I feel like it's inevitable that the Wyatts are going to win these titles. Do they do it now or do they save it for like a SummerSlam when they do like a fucking Tagapalooza since it's 2 nights?
My thought is they should just win the tag titles on Raw.
I agree. They're on the Raw show, but they're clearly not. They're going to keep them on SmackDown. So it is what it is. We're stuck.
They're not a wrestling tag team.
I know.
I don't feel good about this.
Neither do I. I hope they don't win, but I have a weird feeling they might.
It's like when Randy Moss pulled his pants down and pooped in the end zone. Not for me.
Oh, you don't like a good mooning?
Oh, I do, but it just
like a full moon. Have you ever mooned anyone, Adam?
I have.
Okay, how many times?
At least once that I can remember.
Okay, I feel like you'd remember if you did more than that. So,
well, one was in a car, so it's a whole thing. But my friend was driving the car. I'll tell you later off air, but it was worth it. So.
All right. So we're going, even though NXT, I believe, is, I don't know, maybe it's Sunday in the day. It might be Saturday in the day. We will leave that for last, since there could be more added there in Nestlemania. And why don't we start with Saturday night's main event? We have 3 matches as of now. We expect a 4th or 5th to potentially be added on SmackDown, but there are 3 super fun singles matches here that we want to talk about. You just mentioned Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton Nestlemania. Who do you think is going to win that one?
I'm going to go with RKO on that one. I really do think RKO is going to win.
I feel like Drew just came back. I feel like they have a show overseas next. I feel like Drew's going to win by hook or by crook, probably by crook. So give me Drew McIntyre. Next up, we have a singles match between L.A. Knight, and Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins. This is an interesting one, Nestlemania, because usually the guy with the briefcase, they just hand L's to because they don't really need it because he's got that briefcase. But he has about 15 people on his side. But L.A. Knight, it feels like they're flirting with him here in the main event. And I think he's going to pick up the upset here. I'm not going to pick LA Knight. Yeah, I think LA Knight might pick up the dub here somehow. I don't know. Maybe the 3 people that got beat up on Raw will help him. But yeah, LA Knight with the upset on Seth Rollins.
I mean, I got to go with Seth Rollins because that feels like that guy doesn't lose. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. So we disagree on both matches so far.
It doesn't really matter because we're not predicting them, apparently.
Well, we're predicting them, but they will not count. But Nestlemania, the main event, Goldberg's retirement match, unless if he wins the title, singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Reina General Gunther defends against Goldberg in Atlanta. It's Saturday night's main event, the 40th edition. Does Goldberg win the title?
You know, there's a part of me that wants to see him win and then have Seth Rollins cash in on him.
I kind of want him to beat Gunther with like 2 moves in like 10 seconds just to see what the internet would do. But yeah, Gunther's winning this match.
Yeah, you're probably right. Gunther's probably winning.
I feel like they're not going to do the waste of Seth Rollins cash in on a Saturday night main event. It feels like, and it also feels like, I feel like at SummerSlam you get way more out of it because you have both those title matches. You have the World Heavyweight, but you have Cena and Cody, which there's a lot of stuff with that, and they've already kind of teased it. So, but yeah, that's Saturday night main event, Nestlemania. We'll stick with WWE.
Before you go on that, I just wanted to say real quickly, what if, I know this is probably not going to happen, but last week they said something about the plan B. We didn't know what the plan B was. Do you remember when Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes were staring at each other?
Yes.
What if what Seth Rollins said to him was something along the lines of, be part of my plan? Because they didn't actually, here's my thought. If we live in a world where Cody Rhodes and John Cena switch sides, we do a double reverse here, like a double turn. And Cena remembers that he's a babyface and Cody Rhodes turns heel. And Seth Rollins is the World Heavyweight Champion and Cody Rhodes is a heel WWE champion, and they run the future of the WWE together.
I hate it.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
I hate it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't like it one bit. Nestlemania.
Okay. Moving on.
Evolution, we have 7 matches. I was hoping NXT would have announced who they're putting in the Battle Royal by now. I've been refreshing the Twitter. Clearly, Ava wants to wait to the end of the show, which is bullshit. So we won't know that, but we'll do our shots in the dark anyways. Evolution, 7 matches, Nestlemania. First match, we'll start with a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. JC Jane, the champion, with Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix defends against Jordynne Grace. This is Jordynne Grace's 3rd, 4th, or 5th shot at the NXT title the last few years. Does she finally win it here, or does she lose once again?
She loses once again because of the numbers game, and also they're just shining it up real nice for Monroe or whatever her name is.
Well, I think there you just hit it because there's a tag team match which we will predict soon between those two, which I think they might win, but I think Blake Monroe is going to turn on Jordynne Grace at Evolution. Maybe she does it after the match when Jordynne wins, but I think it's more likely she does it and cost Jordynne so JC can move on with the title and maybe they do a triple threat at the next one or something. But I am also going to pick JC Jane, the toxic fatal attraction of influence, to retain.
Okay.
Next up, we have skip over that one. Triple threat match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch, the champion, defends against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Hashtag my favorite match on the card. Hashtag triple threats. What does JC do? What does JC say? easy way for the champion to retain. Give me Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Becky Lynch is losing this thing anytime soon. So there it is. It better be the fucking best match on the card, though.
I mean, it's this or it's Rhea and Io, I would think, because I don't think Tiffy and Trish or Jade and Naomi. I mean, Jordan and JC could be really good. JC is a good worker. Jordan can be a little clumsy sometimes, but I don't know. I think it's this one or it's the main event, which we'll get to at some point. Next up, no holds bar match: Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Nestlemania. Who you got?
Jade Cargill cannot lose leading into SummerSlam. That is a very easy fact of life.
Agreed. And Naomi, like we said, she has the briefcase, so she can lose every match until she cashes in. That's kind of how they roll. Mm-hmm. Next up, singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton defends against Trishani Stratus. I mean, I'm picking Tiffany, but this match I think is going to be a fucking disaster. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be a fucking disaster.
I think this might be one of the worst matches of all time. I'm going to go on that. I have zero hope that this match is even going to get close to a decent rating in my head. I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Yeah, I'm not either. So we're going to move on from it because we're both picking Tiffy. Next up, we have a fatal 4-way tag team match playa for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. One team from each brand. But the Judgment Day, the champions of Raquel Rodriguez and now Roxanne Perez, defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Zaruka, Solruka and Zarya from NXT, and the Kabuki Warriors, who reunited this week on Raw, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Nestlemania, I hoped for Zaruka to win, but am I going to pick them to win? No, I'm taking Judgment Day.
So to me, I'm automatically disqualifying NXT because that's just not going to fucking happen. It's a nice showcase, but it's not fucking happening. Kabuki Warriors, I don't think they have enough steam. Not going to happen. So to me, it's more of a 2-horse race here. Judgment Day or Bliss and Charlotte. I can see Bliss and Charlotte winning this thing, but I think they've still got a lot to learn as a tag team. And to hotshot it this quickly after they just fucking became a tag team seems a little odd. I'll pick Judgment Day for now, but soon we're getting Bliss and Charlotte as tag champs for sure.
Makes sense to me, Adam. Next up, we have a battle royal for a world championship match at Clash in Paris. Participants TBA, but we know Nikki Bella is in it. We know Stephanie Vaquera is in it. We would assume every woman not booked on the show is in it. And NXT will have a contingent, which is still to be announced. Nestlemania, you going with a favorite or a dark horse here?
This has to be Nikki Bella's win. Because now that if Liv...
Do you think they're flying her to Paris to fight Io, I would assume?
Yes. Fuck yes.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm picking Brie Bella.
I was trying to think of like
Nikki Bella.
Who would be an interesting challenger in Paris? I was trying to go through the list, but I'm like, I feel like they're not doing anyone from the Secret Service, which would be ones from over there.
Imagine if Chelsea Green won. Holy shit, that'd be fucking great.
It would be interesting. But I'm assuming when I look at this battle royal, this is a person will be challenging Io or Rhea. Because we know that Tiffany and Jade's happening at SummerSlam, and they're already doing a lead-in match for them here. So I feel like this feels like a Raw win, which points me towards Stephanie as a very obvious choice because they could do a one-off over there. I think it works against Rhea, and it works against Io. And I was brainstorming like, Maxine, Natalia. No. So I'm picking Vaquer. I'm not confident about it, but it's one of those like, I think you could be right about Nikki. I think the two obvious choices here, but it's just like, I'll go with my heart a little bit here. And at least I'd like to see Stephanie wrestle. So I'll pick Stephanie.
Okay.
Main event time. Singles match for that Women's World Championship. Io Sky defends her title against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has never beaten Io, at least in one-on-ones or championships or whatever that stipulation is. Does she get it done here in WrestleMania?
I think she does. I think this night ends with fucking confetti and mommy.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It does feel that way. Yeah, I'm picking it too. I've gone back and forth on this. I think when I started the show tonight, I was like, oh, maybe they'll have Io retain. But it's like, no, it feels like mommy hasn't had that title for a bit. It's time to give it back to her and head into SummerSlam with her as champion. So that does Evolution, WrestleMania. We'll see if they add anything else. But now we're going to, do you want to go to AEW first, since I want to make sure we get as full of an NXT card as possible?
Sure. If that's what makes you happy. God.
It doesn't make me happy, but I'm just, trying to. It looks like the D'Angelo family will be happening on Tuesday, so that won't be on the pay-per-view. But they're kind of teasing Javon Evans, Jasper Troy, so we'll hold out a little longer. But we'll go to All In Nestlemania. There are 8 matches announced as of now. I expect 15 more to be added before Saturday. And oh my God, we have a 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We hurt people. The Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, the champs, defend against Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, and the patriarchy of Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. Because you know what? AEW tries to talk about how they have all these great tag teams. Let's have no actual tag teams besides the champions, who we can call a tag team at this point, in the tag team title match at our fucking biggest pay-per-view of the year. Hurt Syndicate for me.
It's got to hurt people, baby. Let's go hurt.
Yeah, that one I feel like is an easy one. Next up, we have a singles match for the AEW TNT Championship. I have not seen Adam Cole, Bebe, at all because I don't watch Collision, and that's the only show he's on. He defends the title against Kyle Fletcher. I guess I'm blindly taking Adam Cole here.
See, I was concerned because I also saw Daniel Garcia rear his ugly head, so I didn't know if it was going to become a triple threat match.
It might. I'll still pick Adam Cole because I don't fucking have any idea.
Bebe. Adam Cole, baby. Okay.
Next up, we have a tag team match. Hold on. I got a mouthful here for a stipulation. It's Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay taking on the Young Cucks of Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson. If Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for 1 year. If the Young Cucks lose, they will be stripped of their executive vice president titles. Nestlemania, who you got?
I can see both sides working really well for a storyline.
Agreed.
I feel like the safe bet is the Young Bucks winning. Because that way you keep both of them away from the title for a while, and you give Hangman his flowers, and then you can have. He's
gonna lose.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay, I'm gonna say I'm picking the Young Bucks. I don't feel actually that great about it, but I feel like there's got to be some chicanery here happening.
See, to me, Swerve and Ospreay seem like the easier one because I feel like they've played out this VVP or whatever the fuck thing like enough on TV where it's just kind of like whatever, where they can just say it's gone, even if they still have it in real life. It's just like the on-screen version of it. I think can easily go away. But something that I thought about, and I've been considering it for the Casino Battle Royal, is I've always felt the way they've booked this is that Jon Moxley was losing that title to Darby Allin, because that's kind of just like he's been the one. It seems like they were positioning for obviously the Everest thing. I don't know how long his recovery is from that. And if they do have the Young Bucks win, it guarantees that Ospreay can't main event with Moxley at the London show, which is the next pay-per-view, which is All Out or All something, or isn't it in there one over there?
I think it's a little bit. Yeah, this is where we need Joe. But
yeah, later in the year, maybe they have one before. I don't know, but that one, it would guarantee that Ospreay wouldn't main event for that, and because that's the other guy I would see possibly potentially taking out Moxley. But the more I've thought about it, it's just like it seems like storyline wise and the way they've set it up, it's always been Darby. But it's just like I have no fucking idea when he's back. But having the Young Bucks win this, it would guarantee to keep these guys off that radar for it. But 1 year is a long time, Nestlemania, for 2 of your top stars. And the Young Bucks don't need the CVP anymore. So I'm taking Swerve and Ospreay.
Okay. Okay,
so baby. We'll see, baby. Next up. Oh, we'll skip those for now. Those are a fucking mess. Winner take all match to unify the AEW Continental Championship and the AEW International Championship into the inaugural AEW Unified Championship. Holy fuck. At least they're combining these two useless titles, but I just get a fucking headache. Give me Omega.
Yeah, I was going to say give me Omega as well. Because honestly, I know everybody's going to fucking jerk off over this match. I'm sure it'll be fine and fun and everything. But here's the thing. I don't think either of these two are even close. And this is where Conway's going to fucking have my ass for this. I don't think they've been the same people the last 5 years.
Oh, they're getting old. It's fine.
And that's okay. But like they're milking this dry. This has to be the final encounter. Just give it to Omega and let's fucking move on. Because honestly, in my opinion, Okada has been nothing but a wet fart and wet blanket. So in AEW, so I'm done. Like, I'm sure he's great, but after a while, everybody seems like everybody else here. Don't care.
Yeah, Conway, close your ears. They closed. Okay, good. I don't give a fuck about this match. I just don't. These two need to get away from each other because, like you said, Okada's been nothing, and Omega obviously has dealt with a lot of health stuff. But Nestlemania, we have 4 matches left. I guess we'll get into these fucking Casino Gauntlet matches. We have a men's Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match. Participants TBD. Your guess is as good as mine. I'll take fucking MJF.
I'm gonna say MJF as well. Yeah,
because he can hold that to however long he wants, right? Kind of like Christian did.
I believe so.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Darby wins the title. MJF cashes in on him immediately with double middle fingers and be like, "Ha, you finally got your world title and I took it away." This shit makes too much sense to me. They won't do it because it's AEW. We have a Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW Women's World Championship match. I'm going with the same logic here because, spoiler alert, I'm taking Mercedes on the match we're going to predict soon. But the person I would think that would beat her down the line would be Jamie Hayter. So give me Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter, all right.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know why. Is Stat in this match? She's got.
I would assume anyone not booked on this could potentially be in this if they're a big name. So
I'm just thinking, who else do they give a shit about in this fucking? Like,
that's why I went with Jamie Hayter.
Here's my other thought too. It's probably Stat, but if I was booking this, I would want to see Harley Cameron win this fucking thing.
I would think possibly for one of these winners, it could be return or debut. So that opens the pool a little bit. And the women's, I think, would be more likely to be a return or a debut because there's a lot less contenders in that division. Like Queen Aminata ain't winning this thing.
Imagine if it was Britt Baker.
Tekla isn't winning this thing. Like
Britt Baker come back?
It's possible. You think they're gonna have her win this though?
Jesus, I just don't think they have enough. They don't have enough juice now with their women's division. Like in terms of like
losing Mariah hurt, but that's why. I mean, Mercedes Tony is the mega match. And
then after that, where do you go?
Athena's sticking around. Maybe Athena finally actually comes to AEW and not fucking Ring of Honor. Maybe she's someone who does this. I don't know.
I think the safe bet for me, I'm gonna pick Stat just because I don't know anything else. But
yeah, I think our 2 picks are the 2 safe picks. Next up, singles match, AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm defends against Mercedes Moné. Give Moné all the belts because it's fucking great and it pisses everyone off and it just makes sense. Tony's won this thing a million times, but it's just like I think to hit the peak of the mountain for this Mercedes like run is winning this title, and then from there is when you can start to take them away slowly. But I think she's winning on Saturday.
I think she wins, and then she gives up the TBS championship, and someone else will get a fucking chance. So I'm hoping to Christ that happens.
She'll probably lose it. Like someone will cost her, is my guess.
Really? Okay. I thought she'd drop it, but
who knows? Maybe they have her do that. But I think with her gimmick is like to have fucking a million belts. I think it's more likely that whoever's challenging for the world title would cost her and someone else would get a win out of it. Okay. But who knows?
I just feel like before we can move on, I just feel like her first loss can't be a cheap loss, in my opinion. Has to be a big deal.
No, we'll see.
Okay.
Who knows? It's AEW Nestlemania. I would never say never to anything. Singles match, AEW World Championship. John Shitbag Moxley defends his title against Hangman Adam Page. Sounds like you were taking the Hangman, Nestle.
I'm all in on Hanger. Let's go, baby. That's it. Big fucking moment.
Wow. Yeah, no, I'm not. Give me Moxley because they never want us to see that fucking title again. So Moxley wins. We have 1 to go, Nestlemania.
I just want to say very quickly though, I know we got to move on. How do you're going to send everybody home in the quote unquote biggest thing they've got all year, the 3rd biggest gate of all time non-WWE. You're going to send people home not happy with this shit? I would be shocked.
They've done it however many pay-per-views in a row now. WWE did it fucking the entire Roman Reigns.
I know, but Tony Khan can't
help. It's wrestling, bro. The heels win more often than not.
I know that, and it's better that way. I for some reason
just doesn't feel like the guy.
It's Texas death match now.
Yeah, but that's what makes it sweeter. It was Sammy fucking losing in Canada. It's Drew losing in fucking over where he lost. Like it builds it even more, and it fucking builds the hate for Moxley even more. So when their fucking little darling Darby comes back and he fucking wins it. I don't know. It seems like textbook wrestling. Who knows? It's Tony Khan. He might do anything, but it feels like this Moxley bullshit isn't over yet. Maybe they go full Avengers. Maybe Ospreay and Swerve lose their opportunity, but they help Heyman. Maybe they actually do all that shit. Who knows? But it doesn't feel like Heyman doesn't feel like the guy to me. But we'll see. Nestlemania, NXT, the Great American Bash. Still only 4 matches. We might have more, but You're not going to hear them predicted on this program. But the one added tonight to kick off NXT, the Falls Count Anywhere match for the NXT North American Championship. Ricky Saints gets his rematch against the champion Ethan Page. Who you got? I'm with you. I think the Saints man wins it back here. Ethan does have the faction, so in this DQ type match, he could have some chicanery with all his little pretty little 20-year-olds that follow him around now. But I'm also going to take Ricky because, storyline wise, it makes sense.
Ricky, baby, he's got to get his throat back.
Next up, singles match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Sol Ruca defends against Izzy Dame. I hoped for it earlier, and I'm picking it Nestlemania. Give me Izzy Dame to win the title.
Wow.
2 news to kick off NXT.
Listen, you made a really solid case, but I think Sol Ruca is like one of one for me. So I'm going to pick Sol just because I just feel like there's more to her. I don't know. I just like it. So I'm going to
have the Zarya thing just waiting in the wings if they ever pull the trigger on that turn. So it is possible.
But which one's first? Evolution is Sunday.
Yeah.
So you can't have the
first. No, but I mean like down the line, like they have that easy way to have her lose the title. But I also don't think they need the title for that, which is why I'm just kind of dismissing it. Next up, tag team match. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe take on Fatal Influence of JC Jane and Fallon Henley with Jasmine Nix. I think Grace and Monroe win this because I think it leads better into the match on Sunday if the baby faces win, especially if they're going to have Blake turn on her.
Yeah, I mean, it's Monroe's first match, right? So
I believe so.
I think if that's the case, then yeah, she needs to win big here. So
someone's pinning Fallon Henley. Sorry, Fallon. Unless they do the thing where Jordan pins the champion the day before. They could do that.
Maybe.
Next up, the main event? Question mark?
Seriously?
Singles match for the NXT Championship. Oba Femi defends against Yoshiki Inamura with Josh Briggs. Look it. I care about every Oba Femi match because he's a fucking stud. But Jesus Christ, like Miles Bourne was a better fucking challenger than this fucking guy. Like, are you kidding me? They literally have no one. Their only other guys are Trick, who's a champion on the other brand, and then Javon and Jasper Troy, who Oba's already beaten fucking both of them. So it's just like, this is tough, but Oba's winning this.
Oba has to win this.
Oba must pose, baby.
But there's nothing else. There's nothing else for him to do.
Yeah, no, and that's why when I say main event question mark, it's just like, but I guess they did a thing tonight where fucking Inamura picked them up or something, so they're at least trying. But
do you think out of all the shockers that this guy beats fucking Oba?
0% chance.
Really? Okay.
No fucking chance.
Imagine.
This is the lock of the weekend that Oba Femi retains.
Okay.
Lock of the weekend. Yeah. But, potential matches they could add. We might have a Hank Tank Honk title match potentially. And we could potentially have, I think they're going to do Javon Evans and Jasper Troy because they had a couple segments, it seems like, on NXT. So I would expect that to also be added. But we will see Nestlemania. You will have to tune into the other shit to see that.
My goodness, there's too much wrestling. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm getting old. There's too much.
We just did like 25 minutes of predictions because we had to predict 4 different shows. I don't think that's ever happened before.
No.
Because we never do like the TNAs and Ring of Honor or any of that. This was literally like 2 WWE, 1 AEW, 1 NXT. The 4 we talk about. Or the 3 we talk. Well, I guess it's 4 if you count Raw.
Raw, SmackDown.
Good fucking Lord. I'm all out now.
I know.
All out on this shit. We'll talk about it on Tuesday next week.
All right. On that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week, folks, with some more Jobber Knockery.
Lock up Oba.